Hello, Flosstube. I'm Nancy Joytrower. I'm the stitcher with the laughing face, and today's video is Spring Break Finishing Marathon Part 1. So if you've been watching my videos, thank you so much for watching my videos and liking and subscribing and your very kind comments. But if you've been watching, you will know that I'm on spring break. Woohoo! I get 2 whole weeks because we don't take the break in February, and I have been waiting for this time to do a ton of finishing. I'm the kind of person I have to finish a whole bunch all at once. I can't just do one piece at a time. And it seems that every weekend that I set out to do some finishing, there's always a couple pieces that don't get done. And they started piling up and piling up. So this week, I'm coming to you from my dining room because that's where I set up my staging area, as I called it, to get my finishing done. So I'm going to turn the camera just a little bit. You can see over in the corner of my dining room, I set up a card table, and it's filled with all sorts of finishing pieces and fabric, and there's 3 buckets of ribbon underneath it. And it was funny because my husband was like, "You put up a table." It's like, well, I needed room, and this way I have a place to put it so that we can still eat dinner together. So I'm coming to you from the dining room today, and it's been a crazy weather day, so you might hear the rain lashing the window. You might hear my stepdaughter playing her guitar upstairs, and I have a terrible glare in my glasses today because I needed an extra light. So, but I hope you'll bear with me. Oops, that was one of the frames. So when I gathered up everything and laid it all out, I took a picture and I posted it on the Stitch My Stash, because there are 19 things that I have ready to be finished off so we can finally enjoy them. So I thought what I would do is show you the pieces with a little bit of the plan that I have for how I'm going to finish them, and then I'll make another video at the end of my break or when I'm done with them to show off the finished pieces. I didn't really think you wanted to watch me working on them. It would be hard to do any sort of tutorial because they're all different, and I'm going to do them all differently. And then hopefully at the end of break, I'll also have my regular type of video with showing whip projects and anything. And I'm hoping I might even have a few extra things to finish off this break because I have been stitching quite a bit. I'm so close to getting Phil's present done, so I hope to have that done. I did half of Hello Bunny from Emily Call, so I'm working on the other half of that and a couple other pieces that are coming along. I noticed that in my 50 for 50 so far this year, and trying to challenge myself to finish 50 pieces in my 50th year, everything has been a new start. I haven't really finished any whips off, but I'm hoping that that'll change soon. So I'll not just start something new, but then, you know, new things. Like, did you see the new berry picking thing that came out today for Priscilla and Chelsea? Too cute. So, and you're going to see a lot of their stuff today, like a lot of their stuff. So let's get started so I can show you what I'm going to be working on. So my first 2 finishes for 2023 and part of my 50 for 50, I have the December month to month, and I did finish the little button for that one too. So cute. And I also finished the January. Now I didn't finish the button for January because I ran out of the fabric for it, and I may just do it on Ada, or I might just buy more of the fabric. I haven't decided, but I don't have to really decide until, you know, January to do that. So the only other month to month I have done is September. So I brought that to show you how I finished September off, because this is what December and January will look like as well. So I got this board at Michael's. It was in the their wood aisle. They have some finished and some unfinished. So I picked this up there, and I'm sure I used my 50% off coupon, or 40 or whatever. And then Chelsea said something on one of the videos once about if you're going to use the black and white check on all of them as part of the set, why make a new one for every month? Just make one. And I was like, that's brilliant, because it cuts down on a lot of fabric and a lot of sticky board. So I just put the black and white check, and it's probably just from Hobby Lobby or Joann's because that's where I get mine. Put the black and white check on here, and then the month has the red and white check border. It has a little pom-pom around it to kind of add a little oomph to it, because then when you put it on here, it has like a little bit more definition to get my magnets to line up there, to the black and white behind it. And then the bow is also on a magnet, so I can switch that out however it's supposed to go. So that's how I'm going to do December and January as well. For the button, what I did was I took a regular wooden hoop, painted it black, and then I used the same ribbon that I used for the bow, made it into a ruffle, so just ran a really loose stitch down one side, pulled it tight to make the ruffle. And then I didn't even finish the back off because it doesn't really fit on the board. There wasn't enough room. But I had, because I decorate with apples every year, so I have this cute little apple stand, and all I did was go like that. So, and I have a sunflower one too. So I figured I can just keep this because you can't even see the apple. It's going to cover it up. And then this is what I'm going to do for all of the months. Now, the December fabric is going to be slightly different because I saw someone else who used a Christmassy plaid. They used a Scotch plaid that had a little bit more white to it. But when I looked in my stash, because we are using up the stash, I found this fabric and I thought it was awesome. It makes it a little bit more Christmassy. Now, obviously, this is not going to go very well with the black and white. That would not go well. So all I'm going to do is just make the board for this background. I'm just going to do as big as the black and white check and just cover it up so that all you see is the red and black plaid. Plus it'll be a little wider so you can really see the red and black plaid around the December. And then for January, I have this really nice blue and white checker that's going to look just perfect with that. So those are my first two 50 for 50s. And those will probably be some of the first ones that I finish off. And I cannot wait to get my hands on the June one. Oh my gosh, it is so cute. I love strawberries. It's another thing I've been collecting for a long time. And I actually used to be allergic to them when I was little. And now I love them. So it's kind of funny. You have too many strawberries. I hope I don't break out in hives again. All right. So the next thing I had was my next... shoot, I need something to put behind it. That's okay. This was the Valentine's Day sale from Cherry Hill Stitchery. And I'm not exactly sure what I'm going to do with this. I'm probably going to do a pillow. But I don't want to make an enormous pillow because it's already a pretty big stitching. But I did see somebody who put just a strip of fabric here with like a little trim in between it. And then just kept it tight to the rest of it. So just a little bit of extra trim. I do have this blue rickrack that I think will be perfect. It's a little thin, so I might find something a little bit wider. But again, I'm trying to use up my stash. But I do have this cute little heart-shaped basket that I put out at Valentine's Day, and it has a couple like stuffed hand-sewn looking hearts in it, and I thought this would be really cute there. So that was the next thing I finished. Then I had Valentine Lane. And that I am definitely going to finish on this cute little easel that I got at Dollar Tree. I have two of them, which is great because I really like it. Because I think when it's sitting on the table or the shelf or whatever it's going to be displayed with, it's going to add a little bit more height to the display. So they're not all the same height. And it is just about exactly the right size to have the tiered tray tidbit on there with just a little bit of extra room. So again, I think I'm going to use the blue and probably the pink rickrack. And this size is going to be perfect for this one because it is so small. We'll kind of offset them so they are next to each other. And I'll use the washer magnet method on that as well because I want to be able to use this little easel for every season because it's so cute for the tidbits. Then I finished Honeybees and Flowers Please. This is the one I finished this year. But I also have done the Snowed In Honey. And that one's all nice and ironed because I was about ready to finish that last year. And then I have the delivery one or whatever, the cute little truck. I love it. So this is done on the apple green Rit dye. I used the apple green Rit dye on Monaco, but I didn't tea dye it like Chelsea and Priscilla did. I left it that super bright green. And then the only thing I did was I changed the green floss to 988. I think it showed up a little better and popped more. So I just love this whole set. I have a thing about bees. It was my classroom theme for 5 years. So I have a ton of bee stuff that I've collected. People gave me. stitchings that I've done. I even started a bee quilt because, yeah, you need a quilt in your classroom. So, but I'm going to do the other two in the set. There's still Sweet as Honey and then the Farm, and then I will have all 5 of them. Now I'm going to do them all with similar fabrics and stuff, but I'm going to use different backing, like different pieces. So I know one of them is going to go on this piece. I love this piece. I used it for a fall piece last year, but it has the clip on it, so it's great. You don't even have to use the magnets. You can just change things out and add a little, you know, pick up at the top or bow or whatever, and it's super cute and easy to change. Oops, I just knocked my... And then this fabric I found at Hobby Lobby. It was part of a charm pack. So I already have it cut to mount onto a piece of foam core for the background. I might have to go see if they have another charm pack because I don't think I planned for enough for 5, but I will figure it out. And I must have had a plan because I made a ruffle with the hexagon. So we'll see how that goes. Might have to change my plan a little bit or use this on something else. So I don't know I have enough for 5. But so those are the bee set. And I will put them out all together in the same area. But like I said, I'm going to use different backings and just kind of play. I have that whole box and a bag of, oh, this would be a cute finishing product. So I've got a lot that I can kind of play with and things that I can use in different seasons too. So next we have the, sorry, you can see the lights through it in the back. Let's Go Ride a Bike, Sweetheart Street. And this is also from Stitching with the Housewives. I think they all have been except for one so far. So this is the first one I did in the series, and I'm not exactly sure what I'm going to use for a finishing piece. I do think I'm going to use a seasonal fabric. So I have a black fabric with hearts on it with a little bit of sparkle that I'm going to see how that works. Again, I've got the rickrack, although I might find bigger because it's a bigger piece, but I think the blue definitely will help set it off from whatever fabric I'm going to use. And I mount these on black foam core because with the linen, as you can see, because you can see the lights through it behind, if you put it on white foam core, you're going to see the white. So I use, because it's not as tightly woven as like a Monaco. So with the linen, I always use a black matte or foam core. And then I'll, mount it on another piece of foam core with like a Valentine's Day fabric. But then I don't know yet. And I think for something like this, I'm going to do all 12 of them. I want to find just the right finishing piece. And I saw somebody who used like one of those wall hangings that looks like the front part of a bike and was like, that was really cute. So for now, this one doesn't go out until February, but it could just be that it's going to be on 2 pieces of foam core with a pick and some bows and just on an easel. I don't know. We shall see. But I am going to get this one finished, and I am going to do the June one for this too. Can't wait. I do have some of the other patterns. I just haven't gotten to them yet. All right, and then I have Bloom Where You're Planted. This one's a new finish from the last video that I did. Also Chelsea and Priscilla. This is, I loved this when I saw that they had made a pattern because my mom used to say this to me and used to drive me a little nuts when she said it to me sometimes. But she had a green hand, not just a thumb. And unfortunately, I didn't inherit that. But it made me think of her. So I don't have it right next to me, but I have one of those wooden rounds with beads from Hobby Lobby. I'm going to paint that white. And then I'm going to probably pull out the blue like Priscilla and Chelsea did for the border on that, whether it's with trim or with another piece of fabric behind, or another board behind it. All right, so that was everything that I'd done in my 50 for 50 so far, plus 2 extra bees. So here's the rest of the stuff that's been sitting there waiting to be finished for a while. So Honeybee Lane was probably one of the first things I ever got from Priscilla and Chelsea. One of the first things too I did on the black linen, and I was trying to conserve it. So when I cut it, I think I cut it a little too small to be able to wrap around anything really. So what I did was I ran a stitch around the edge, and then I pulled off the extra threads and made the fray. And I've done that on a couple different things. And I do have this cute hexagon fabric, although since I might be using this with the honeybees, I might find something else. Believe me, I have a ton of yellow bee themed fabric. So I'm sure I'll find something. And this I might also put on the easel. I do have two, so I think this is really cute, and I think I might use it on that. Then I also have Sunflower Farm. Actually, this will work pretty well against it. I have no idea what I'm doing with this one as far as a finishing piece, but again, I'll probably use some yellow fabric to back it and just kind of play around. I've got little houses and all sorts of cute little things and little farms and stuff. So we'll see what that one turns up like. Now this is one of the ones I did last fall, and then I got all my Halloween stuff done, but I didn't get to finish this one. So this is Apple Orchard, another Priscilla and Chelsea. And I think what I'm going to do, because one of the things I always liked about Priscilla's blog, even before she started doing her own patterns, is that she would take signs and wreaths and add the stitching to it in such a way that it really kind of enhanced, and maybe even something she already had or something she'd picked up. So I've had this apple sign for years because I always decorate September for apples, and I thought this would be super cute on it, probably with like a little red and white check that's kind of vintagey looking. And I'm just going to take the tag and kind of hit it with some hot glue so it sticks up further, so it's not going to be in the way of the stitching. But I think that is going to be really, really cute. And then I also did another apple one from the fall, and I did this on that Carolina fabric that I love, that has the kind of that rustic feel to it and a little bit of texture because the threads aren't always just perfectly even. No idea what I'm doing with this one yet. It could be it winds up on that frame that looks like a window because the bees will be down by that point. So we shall see. But this is another apple one. I liked that one a lot. And then this one, I have no idea where this pattern came from. Probably a magazine at some point. This is a cute little Halloween one. And did it on fiddler cloth. So it is Ada, but it still has that rustic-y feel to it. And I'm thinking for this one, because it is so small, I'm probably going to do it as a pillow, put another strip of fabric here, and then one that goes across the bottom to make it a little bit bigger, and a little trim in between them, little buttons and bows and stuff like that. So I don't know, I have so much fall fabric, it's ridiculous. But we shall see what happens with that. And then this one I think is a Lizzie Kate. I did that a few years ago, and this is just on regular white linen. I'm going to see what I have in the way of purple, and probably do a pillow with a strip of purple fabric underneath it, and then some trim in between. So a whole bunch of pillows this time. And then I'm actually almost done. I thought it was going to take forever. I was going to tell you to grab your favorite beverage for whatever time of day it is that you're watching and relax. All right, so this one is one I did last year, and I forgot who the designer was, but this was a freebie. I'll put it in the notes. And this is on Monaco that I hand dyed with fuchsia Rit. It was one of my first dyeing attempts, and I loved how it came out. I also used it on the Cherry Hill Stitchery this year. So this, she said, just use whatever floss you want. So I used, if you can see it, I don't know, I used metallic DMC just to give it a little bit of that sparkle. So maybe another pillow. Not really sure. We'll see. I'm going to kind of play with the fabrics and see what I have for that. Then this is a Primrose Cottage, and this is on also hand dyed. I did this with black because I was trying, I didn't love the chalkboard, so I wanted something a little bit more substantial, so I dyed this myself, and I really like how it came out. I'm going to do this again. I think I'm going to use the other piece that I have for that Welcome Home Summer. That was one of the Housewives market releases, and then dye more fabric so each one of them is on, like, it's a little bit even more chalkboardy. It's not quite as black, it's like a little bit more gray. But this was one of my first primrose that I did, and it's super cute. Now this one I might do, I have a tall stand, it's over there, I don't want to go off and get it, but I have a tall black thin, because I don't have a lot of stuff that's vertical, so this could even be cute. I don't know, it's probably too, oh, maybe it's not. I have this little house thing. Oh, I think I might have just found it. So this is a little house. I got it Dollar Tree. How cute will that be on the house? It's thin enough to actually stick on there. Ooh, I can do all the other hugs and kisses on this little house. Okay, I'm excited. Easily entertained. All right, so then I have this biscornu, or however you say that. And I'm going to see what I have as far as fabric goes and what lines up with it. And of course, do this one in the little pillow as well. And then actually the one thing I'm not going to finish this week is the Strawberry Farm. And this is actually the last thing I have to show. This is the Strawberry Farm that came out last May. But I'm not going to do it this weekend or this week because I want to do So Berry Sweet, and the other one was the Delivery, and maybe even the Snowden Sweet or whatever it was called, a Snowden Berry with the snow globe. So, and I definitely want to do Up on a Pedestal. So I want to do them all together because these you can do as one set sort of because they're all in the black, and the new Roundabout Berry ones will all be on the white. Can't wait to get every week. It's just like, ooh, a new prize or like a new gift or something. So that's a lot. 19 things and maybe more by the end of the vacation because I'm going to be stitching away. So I thought that it would be easier to show those all to you now. And then I'll show you everything when it's all done in probably next week or so. And we'll see how everything turned out. So thank you again to everybody who has watched and subscribed and liked and commented on my channel. It really means a lot to me. It's just been so much fun to be part of this community and to see people's encouragement and support. And I do really appreciate that. And I hope that you're finding that as well. So happy Easter, because that's coming up this weekend. And I hope you're enjoying spring, whether you're on break or not. But hopefully spring has really sprung where you are. Hopefully the rain stops here soon. We can actually get outside. But I hope you have a great week, and I'll see you soon. Thanks so much.